For those of us who have been around a while, um, this past year or two, or is it 3 already, uh, we feel a bit of a void still with the absence of James Tidwell, who was the chair of the journalism department here at Eastern Illinois University and an integral person in the establishment, the foundation of the IJEA. James passed away 2 years ago. It seems longer somehow. And after we lost him, the IJEA board thought that there would be a great way to honor his legacy by establishing an award in his name that we could bestow annually upon a deserving advisor. And it is something that I have looked forward to for many weeks now. This is the part of the day that I have really, really been looking forward to, because this year, I think we really nailed it in terms of the recipient. The James A. Tidwell Award for Excellence in Scholastic Media Education is the IJEA's highest honor, honoring exemplary work by a media educator. In Brenda Field, this year's Tidwell Award winner, the judge wrote that the, quote, IJEA honors an educator whose influence beyond her classroom has expanded exponentially over the past academic year, with her vital role in the successful advocacy for New Voices legislation, the new Illinois high school press rights law. During the hundreds of hours that she and Stan collaborated on strategies, met with lawmakers, and traveled to the state capitol, she continued to serve us as JEA's state director for Illinois, and she continued to hold down her regular full-time job, full of end sheets, covers, theme development, and everything else that goes into yearbook production. Her passion for and professionalism in advising yearbook helped her students produce this tome, and we are all in awe. Her friends, colleagues, and students say that Brenda is deserving as an honoree because her Glenbrook South High School yearbook, The Etruscan, has become synonymous with excellence. One writes, the book they produce each year exceeds standards in concept, coverage, writing, design, and photography, and is a national trendsetter others only attempt to imitate. Beyond the actual publication, a colleague from the Journalism Education Association talks about her ability to empower students by providing an atmosphere in which students learn and grow every day as they take complete ownership for their publication. A former editor's words support that. Quote, Mrs. Field inspires me because she took a program that produced a basic log of the year and made it into one that tells the stories of the year. Brenda Field, she said, is the Etruscan's greatest asset, and she is certainly one of Illinois scholastic journalism's greatest assets. It is indeed my honor to present the 2017 James A. Tidwell Award for Excellence in Scholastic Media Education and a check for $300 to Brenda Field.
Okay, so I decided to make this more complicated by adding technology, so we'll see if we can. Are we good up there? Which button do I? Oh, yay, I figured it out. Okay. Before I begin, I have to thank the Illinois Journalism Education Association for this tremendous honor. I'm not one to seek the spotlight, and I'm definitely not of the mind that anything I've done I've accomplished alone. But it does mean the world to me to be recognized by people I admire professionally as well as personally. We may feel like we're on islands as advisors, but if you've been doing this long enough, you know you don't survive without support, especially from those who understand your job better than anyone else. So, as 2016 drew to a close, social media exploded with the notion that the year had been one of the worst on record. Between celebrity deaths and our contentious political climate, 2016 just had to go. Good riddance. But from my perspective, 2016 wasn't all that bad. Two miraculous things happened last year. Governor Rauner signed House Bill 5902. Oh, uh-oh. There was a picture there. There is no longer a picture there. Okay, well that was a picture of our sponsor, Will Gazzardi, with all of the students that came to testify at our first committee hearing. So Governor Rauner signed our bill, and the Cubs won the World Series. I had a picture of that too. I don't think that's there. Okay. On the surface, these two events couldn't be more unrelated. But I'm going to propose that in addition to happening in the same year, these successes actually have a lot in common. And it's in these similarities that we're reminded of the power of what we do every day in our classrooms. So, sorry, Cardinal fans. I'm going to spend a little time talking about the Cubs today. I hope you can forgive me. It has a St. Louis backpack right there. So, you may have heard me or Stan Zoller say this before, but HB 5902 was not a Stan or a Brenda thing. It was an IJEA thing. It was a Student Press Law Center thing. It was a scholastic journalism thing. It was a team thing. From our first meeting in January 2016 with Representative Elaine Nedkritz, it wasn't about any one person. It was about us. Elaine heard Stan and me describing on your behalf why our students need to be able to exercise their First Amendment rights in high school publications. She heard us tell stories of prior review, and she understood the ramifications of preventing student inquiry, of limiting their ability to speak truth to power. She understood what censorship meant for student journalists in the moment, and she acknowledged what it could mean for students in the long run, whether they chose to become journalists or not. If we don't believe in student voices in high school, why should those students believe their voices matter later on? Why should they participate in a larger democracy if they've been taught to believe the only voices that matter are those that belong to people in positions of authority? We made it out of our first committee hearing on an 11-0 vote, not because one person made all the difference, but because everyone played a part. Hope Johnson from Taylorville passionately and articulately testified on behalf of student journalists around the state. She credited her passion for journalism, and for this issue in particular, to her advisor, Stephen Steele. Kathy Wall, to whom we should give thanks for helping to spearhead this IHSA journalism tournament, spoke about her own struggles as an advisor working under the cloud of Hazelwood. Frank Lamani of the SPLC countered every legal question with a resounding answer supporting student press freedom. You weighed in by filing witness slips, or by calling your representative, or by sitting in the gallery in Springfield. The ACLU, the Library Association, and the League of Women Voters also filed slips in support of our bill. Representatives were willing to reach across the aisle and vote together, and as it turned out, many of them had worked on their own high school publications. They set aside politics to do what was right. The course of the bill's passage wasn't entirely smooth, but it was always a team effort. It happened because people were passionate about the cause, and it happened because people collaborated. On July 29th, nearly 2 months after clearing the Illinois General Assembly without a single negative vote,